Hold on. Deliver lost cargo.
Hey man, how's it going? Guys like you make me proud to be part of Bridges. Thank you, Sam. Until the next delivery, then. Stay safe. Good work. Welcome. We were watching your boat the whole way. I hate to be a hard ass, but I've got to ask. Everything you're transporting above board? Nothing dangerous or illicit? I'm sure they checked you on the way in, but I'm gonna have to take a second look.
Okay.
All clear. Not picking up anything unusual. Cargo looks great too. Been a while since we got some of this stuff.
Slightly damaged. Yeah, because I fell off the damn stairs. Ceramics can now be used. Great handler. Aim higher, you may be recognized as a mover. Reached cargo condition grade 10. You can keep your balance more easily.
Sorry, man. Can't be too careful these days. Oh, we heard you were carrying a cubit. That right? You're clear to link us up.
Yeah, with my giant ass tower of cargo. BB should be happy every time we do this. Central region. Okay. Yeah, it's like we somehow I don't know what the hell we crossed. Smoke emitting decoy cargo. New interview. Lake at ground zero. Yeah, I wanna know about that.
So we're finally on the network. Long time coming.
Yeah.
We won't hold anything back. Capital Knot City will get everything. If all this info sharing makes everyone safer, I'm all for it. You can bet I'm not the only one here who feels that way. I suppose it was better when Bridges 1 first came this way. At least I don't remember terrorists and BTs making our lives difficult back then. Well, be careful out there. The world's not what it used to be. And thank you.
There were less BTs back then?
Finally made it past ground zero, Sam. Congratulations. And thank you. It'll only get harder from here, though. When we first came through, it was different. Peaceful. The 3 cities out there, Lake, Middle, and South Knot, were all on board with our plans for reconstruction. Fragile Express was contracted by all 3 and kept supplies moving and people connected. But that all changed a year ago, when the Separatists carried out their attacks. One took out Middle Knot City. They detonated
Damn.
days. Half of South Knot City went up on the other. Casualties were devastating. Bridges doesn't have the resources to link up the remaining cities on its own. We need to secure the support of everyone, even those who want nothing to do with the UCA. Impossible as that may seem.
The situation has changed dramatically since Bridges 1 first went west. The destruction of Middle Knot in particular forced us to adapt a new strategy. It's like Amelie said, we don't have the time or resources to construct another knot on that scale. That's why we've taken to cutting deals with preppers and the like. Our only recourse is to utilize their shelters to bolster the strength of the network.
Takes a special kind of person to live out here on their own. The kind that'll tell us to fuck off if we ask them to join the UCA.
Oh, we know. No one's expecting them to say yes up front. But even if they don't like dealing with most people, they got on okay with Fragile Express.
Don't tell me. You want us to use her credentials to get in good with them?
Bingo. She's agreed to it too.
And in exchange, she gets...
Nothing really. A chance to get back at Higgs, I suppose. I can't blame her for wanting one. He took everything from her and then some. Time healed some wounds, but not hers. The work ahead won't be simple or easy, but it needs doing. Get some rest for now. We'll talk more later.
Don't send me straight to... I have cargo I would like to get rid of. So this is Sam's beach?
Here.
For me?
It's called a keeper. It means knot in old words. You can also use it to count stuff. I add a knot when I make a friend.
Okay. Then how about I add another knot every time I see you? This must be very important to you if you were able to bring it here. Very special.
It is special. I made it for you.
Is she not human?
Treasure it, Sam.
Is she like another world entity thing? I don't... She lives on the beach? She's not his blood sister? I'm so confused.
Something to eat?
No, will you stop? He doesn't want it.
Here.
Ask your boss man.
No. I mean, why are you here?
Got a delivery for a porter. You're gonna need this on the road ahead. This will ID you as an associate of Fragile Express. It's woven from my blood and chiral crystals. Think of it as a kind of bond. Preppers around these parts won't give you trouble so long as you've got it. We were the only people making deliveries out here. This was our territory. Until Higgs fucked it all up. Me, the Express, our reputation, all of it.
And now you want to fuck him back. On your own.
I'm not on my own. The cave, Port Knot City, next to your bed. So far apart, yet somehow we keep meeting. All that BT country in between where I should have been caught in void out. Yet here I am. Here I am.
You can use the beach?
I have a beach. You've got yours. I've got mine. I use it to jump across space. I can't conjure up BTs the way Higgs can, but I can go after him, chase him to the beach. Problem is, everyone's got their own way in. I'm only allowed to pass through the beach I know and understand. I'm sure you've heard the term multiverse.
Ooh.
You all right?
The jumps take a lot out of me. Suck my blood dry. You're going to Edge Knot City, right? Place is full of terrorists. But if you're dead set on it, then you're gonna have to deal with heat sooner or later.
Look, I make deliveries, killing monsters and terrorists. It's not what I do.
What if we did it together? I could use my power to help you. We don't have to want the same thing to be on the same side. I could send you across my beach. To any place the Chiralian's thick enough. Any place connected to the Chiral Network.
What do you expect in return?
I expect you to think it over. Here. Call it an incentive. And call me if you need me.
So is she our fast travel system? What is this umbrella?
This will keep us connected.
What is it?
See you when I see you.
Fast travel. Transport you to any distribution center or safe house within the areas covered by the Chiral Network. Lots of mail received. Holy cow. Examine weapon rack. What's going on with this table? Cryptobiotes. And the big thing that we fought. To the man who delivers, I'm sorry? Sam, first off, sorry for calling you a newbie last time. You're Sam Bridges, a freaking living legend. Seriously. And here I was talking to you like this was your first day on the job. Deadman was none too happy about me treating you like this was your first rodeo. Man, do I feel like a dumbass. If you're the one helping us expand the network from coast to coast, we're in safe hands for sure. Guess the day America rises from the ashes might not be so far off, after all. So you remember Bridges before you were a porter, and now you're back in the shit after what, 10 years? Suppose that means you outrank me, though I reckon you're not the type to care about that. So he was a member of Bridges, and then he became a porter, and then he came back. Out of curiosity, have you been using your private room to kick back and relax while listening to some music? The director asked us to hook you up with some tracks from Low Roar. Said there's no better way to unwind after a hard day. I checked them out myself, and I have to say he knows what he's talking about. Really got the juices flowing. Oxytocin too. My favorite's a track called Pop Virus, and I think you might like it too. Apparently it's about a virus that destroys everything people think they know about music, allowing something completely new to be created in its place. Kind of like what you're doing with America, right? Taking a busted foundation and rebuilding it to make something better in the long run. Give it a listen when you have a chance. Meaning of chirality. Dear Sam, sorry you had to go to the trouble of chasing down that part for us, but believe me, you've done us a great service. Thanks to you, our chiral printer's finally up and running. Didn't think it would ever happen, if I'm honest, but it did, and now we don't have to rely on porters as much as before. We can make a lot of what we require with our printer. And if we need intel in the outside world, it's right there at our fingertips. On behalf of myself and everybody else here at the Distro Center, thanks. None of this would have been possible without you. Funny story, the other day I was using the network to read up on the word chiral and where it comes from. Turns out it's Greek, means hand. Bet you didn't know that. I did. The text went on about how your right hand is a mirror image of your left, but only if you put your palms together. And if you point them away and lay one hand on top of the other, well, that's chirality. That's how I understood it anyhow. What it's got to do with the network, I'm not really sure. Something about routing communications through the beach, which is basically another world like ours, but not really. So when you force elements of the two into contact, that triggers a void out. Anyway, all I know is that while I hope you keep on doing what you're doing to bring us together, you'd best leave the dead out of it, you hear? Okay. Oh, they actually... Okay. Put those into categories for you. Preppers. When I was a little girl, my father told me that preppers were people who decided long ago they couldn't trust their nation to be there for them anymore, that the bonds between us had grown weak long before the Death Stranding. We once had a network spanning the whole wide world that could send items from anywhere to anywhere and connect anyone with anything. But still we were isolated, still we were alone. Some liked it that way and even wanted more. They wanted walls along their borders, wanted to turn away refugees and outsiders. Some even wanted new nations all their own. They began to see the state as an enemy of their freedom, not a protector of it. The ones most far gone, they didn't trust the country to defend them if something went really wrong. War, terrorism, natural disaster, you name it. So they built shelters and stocked full of supplies in preparation for the worst. And then the worst happened, the Death Stranding. America ceased to exist and their shelters became their homes where they would live and they would die. But while they prepared, they hadn't prepared to live there forever, which is why they wound up relying on us couriers so heavily. My father and I didn't want to go back to the old America. We didn't want a country that pushed people apart. We wanted one that brought them together, that allowed them to support one another. That was what we tried to work toward. When I first laid eyes on the lake here at Ground Zero, I was blown away by the sheer size of it. I never imagined anything could be so huge. This was just after the Death Stranding, and not many people had seen the craters up close yet. Back when I was still living with my parents and my brother on the East Coast, an explosion like nothing the world had ever seen before tore a gaping hole in the heart of America. There were all kinds of rumors floating around at the time that it was a meteor, that it was a nuke dropped by another country. I was just a kid, but even I could tell the adults didn't have a clue. So you can imagine how I felt. And then we found out there had been other explosions, not just here in America, but the world over. By the time we learned they were void outs and what void outs were, the country was pretty much done. But hey, that was then, this is now, and things are looking up. I just got told my kid brother is still alive. Word is he's headed up a corpse disposal team in Capital Knot City, handled his shit well enough to get picked for the second expedition, 3 more years, and he'll be out here with me. Can't wait to see him again. That's 2.5 years ago. That's really sad. All right, let's leave. We've seen that one? Look at the hole.
Sam, access the Lake Knot City delivery terminal.
Okay.
Sam, to review. Your present objective is to extend the Chiral Network from Lake Knot City to South Knot City. To that end, you'll need to utilize prepper shelters as way stations. Frankly, it won't be easy. Fragile's tried to get some of them on board, but you know how preppers are.
Do we?
More than a few won't want anything to do with the UCA. So we've got to prove to them they're better off with us. Figure out what they need and what we can provide, and then deliver. Do that, and they just might agree to join us. All right, get to it. The list of orders is on the terminal.
Okay. Before we do that, let's recycle some stuff. So, ceramics, resins, blood bags. Thank you for doing your part. Da-da-da-da-da. Let me give you crystals. That's how much I can give you? You've got 900 of them. I can only give you 200 of them?
Thank you for your...
Now I can give you 300. Let's try it again. Oh, I can't give them anymore. Okay. Alright, so we have a ton of freaking stuff. that we definitely don't need all of this. Container spray I want. Don't need all of these. I don't know what that just looks like. That's just a grenade. Capsule containing Sam's condensed excrement. Collected when he uses the toilet. Cause it to explode when thrown. Has a noticeable effect on BTs. So it's not a blood grenade. It's a different grenade? I have so many of these and I don't want them all. No more materials can be stored. Cancel. Changes will be undone. Are you sure? Yeah. Huh. Okay, so they have a limit. We'll see what they can take. No more materials can be stored. What is that? Changes will be undone. It's fine, whatever. I can't recycle used stuff anymore? I guess in a share locker then. Donate weapons and equipment. That gives me 2 grenades, 3 grenades, 2 blood bags. There we go. You have any cargo that needs taken anywhere? Ceramics. Okay. Let's try these orders.
Your destination is a shelter south of Lake Knot City. The package you're carrying contains a network-ready Evo Devil unit. A special device that applies the principles of evolutionary biology to practical problems. When used in conjunction with a chiral printer, it can recreate items from incomplete structural data. It's a prototype, but so far our trials have been successful. The client is a civilian. We call him the engineer, who's agreed to put the unit through validation testing for us. Be careful. The EDU is a delicate piece of equipment that must be handled with care. If you don't, it can and will break.
Great.
Oh, and the engineer is second gen, born in the shelter. Not so good with people, but he's a whiz with machines. Or so I hear.
Okay, what about this one?
The client is a first-gen prepper. Old school. Been in and out of shelters since before the Death Stranding. Deliveries of his medication have fallen behind, though, and he's about to run out. There's just one case you need to bring, but there are multiple packs inside. Every dose counts, so you'd best handle it with care.
Okay.
While the client's life isn't in immediate danger, he's probably having a rough time.
Seriously.
Don't keep him waiting, huh?
It's probably a nervous wreck.
You'll be handing this one off to a guy we call the Craftsman. Repairs, modifications, you name it, he can do it. Makes weapons, too. Nothing lethal on account of his pacifism. In fact, if you give him something lethal, he'll turn it into something that isn't. A tool designed purely for self-defense. That's what the gun parts listed in the order are for.
Okay.
Make sure they get to him and no one else.
Alright, confirm.
The guns make bodies, and bodies make craters. While you're at it, I'd also like you to transport some blood bags and hematic grenades.
Yay.
You know, the ones you field tested against BTs and delivered to Lake Knot City.
And just donated?
We'd like to dole them out to the local porters. We've got no reason to keep them to ourselves, so I figured we may as well oblige him.
Alright.
This is a somewhat unusual order. You're going to want to review the key points in the summary.
It's fragile.
An empty container tagged with a fake ID, aka decoy cargo. Could be useful for fooling folks who can't get enough of other people's deliveries.
take one. Load all. Okay, kept the fragile thing on top. Head out.
Thank you for your contribution.
So before I do this, mail received? The frick? I just wanted to see if I could make more grenades because the blood grenades are... they drain your blood, whereas excrement... excretements don't? Restocked in private locker. Oh, so that's how that works. Okay, that's what I was wondering.
That should suffice. Glad to see everything's in good working order. The latest in our line of EX grenades. I give you the number 2. As you may have surmised, this model was produced with various extracts refined from your fecal matter. We suspect that your regular consumption of cryptobiotes has led you to excrete certain compounds that may prove especially effective against BTs. If you would like us to produce more, you need only furnish us with the requisite raw materials via your private room's toilet. I look forward to your feedback.
Standing. Let's see if he's got anything else to say.
EX grenade number 1.
4 of them?
Another of our new EX grenades, the number 1. So named because it contains a vaporized extract formulated from your urine. Compared to our first iteration, this EX grenade contains a higher concentration of your fluids, which should make it more effective against BTs. Whenever you avail yourself of your private room's facilities, we will collect the results and produce additional units for your use. So you needn't worry about running out.
So long as I use the private room. Interesting. Hey Sam, you heard the latest rumors out of Capital Knot City. People have been seeing some kind of weird glowing thing up on the rooftops near the isolation ward. Seems it's a Ka, the part of a human that doesn't turn into a BT. That's what people are saying anyway. Apparently they were a common sight back in the old days, back before the Stranding, I mean. Story goes that they were lost souls wandering around. One of my pals tried to go take a closer look, see what's what, but he couldn't find anything. I'm sure you could do better if you put your mind to it though, right? You want me to go back to Capital Knot City and look for a ghost? Okay. Dear Sam, thanks again for all your help. The Chiral printer is still running like a dream, and it kind of feels like one too, seeing all these new buildings popping up out here. It hasn't solved all our problems, of course. The nearby wasteland's still crawling with BTs, but now we can obtain a good chunk of our supplies via the network, and they can't interfere with that. To think we're connected even all the way out here. Didn't used to think it was such a special thing. The whole world was one big network back before the Death Stranding. Video, audio, text, every bit of information was available for one and all, but now we've gone one better. The Chiral Network and the printer can be used to send tangible things, well and away. Welcome to the new America. One we're able to send food and medicine to. You won't have to put your neck on the line for our sake anymore. I hope that day comes soon, I really do. Let's leave.